I stepped through my door after years at sea. Found a woman calling me husband. I assumed she meant me. I bowed and said, my darling Janice. She sighed, Judith, well, so began my homecoming bliss. No sooner had I learned her name than news of war through London came. Spain and France now claim the tide. England calls her wolves to ride. Queen Anne eyed my weathered past, not Navy command but a red outcast. Take St. George, hunt Spain's rich stores, let privateers settle England's scores. Turn, turn, the world turns red. St. George, it leaves the boatmen tread. Cinque port's shadows just off the lee. Two English blades on a blood-dark sea. Round Cape Horn with a frozen roar, waves like giants pounding the door. Ice in our beards and fear in the stays, yet we push through death for 7 days. We reach Fernandez aching slow, where quiet winds had room to blow. But fate saw fit to test our claim with a French-built beast of guns and flames. Shot for shot through the choking din, 7 hours we strove to win. Her hull ran deep, our powder small, we pulled away at evening's fall. Turn, turn, the world turns red. St. George, it leaves the boatmen tread. Cinque port's shadow just off the lee. Two English blades on a blood-dark sea. Turn, turn, the world turns red. St. George limps, but she's not yet dead. Cinque port's watching with hungry eyes. Some foes stand and deny their prize. Then Selkirk came with trembling sight. Sir, this ship will fail in night. Cracked are our timbers, thinner keel. Leave me ashore if you won't heal. So on that lonely island strand, he stood alone with hat in hand. Bible, knife and powder dry, we watched his shadow shrink and die. Turn, turn, the world turns red. St. George roams a brave men dread. Cinque port's fades in the evening's light. St. George sails alone in the cold dark night. We raided small ships on the Peruvian line, quick snatches of silver, barrels of wine. Yet my thoughts burned bright on Santa Maria, where gold was sworn to lie like fever. But muskets waited and cannons spoke, their iron walls our hopes revoked. We turned away from the screaming shore with empty hands and spirits sore. Turn, turn, the world turns red. St. George arose, the brave men bled. St. George on a final breath, war writes tales on the edge of death. Turn, turn, the world turns red. St. George arose where the brave men bled. St. George on a final breath, war writes tales on the edge of death. Turn, turn, the world turns red.